Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's time for a brand new mission inspiration over on our Facebook group. If you'd like to join us, then there's a link on screen at the moment, but there's also a clickable link in the description area below. And the prompts have been set this month by group member and admin Alien Hero. And she's chosen, well, I'm not going to tell you just yet. So let's turn over to my overhead camera and show you what I'm going to create using the prompts for April. Okay, so this is the mission brief for April set by Alien Hero in Germany. So we've got It's a Kind of Magic. Is it Hocus Pocus or unicorns and fairies? So the colours that she's given us are electric blue, fairy rose and mystical green. And the ingredients in no particular order: scribbles, inks, lettering, flake and foil and foreign language. So incorporate some kind of foreign languages in there, plus flake or foil. So some kind of foiling. Well, bit of glitterati. Let's see what we can try and do for that then. So It's a Kind of Magic. As I was preparing this kind of piece of paper, or the brief for this month, I had one particular phrase that kept going over in my head, thinking about the It's a Kind of Magic, and it's a line from a very, very famous film, but I will explain later. So, colours: electric blue, fairy rose and mystical green. Well, I don't particularly have anything that is quite those colours, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute turquoise for the electric blue. Fairy rose, I'm going to substitute bright salmon, which is a kind of pinky colour. All my pinks are all too purpley pink. And I don't think I've actually got, unless there's a blush colour in there. I could have used Dina Wakley, maybe, well, whatever. A mystical green, I've got olive green and desert cactus. So I think a mixture of those two are probably going to be appropriate for this anyway. So I've got my journal. So I've pinned the page back. So this one goes that way. So this page, the next page goes that way, because I'm doing it so I turn it 90 degrees each time that I do it. And I'm just going to clip the pages down while I work on them. So I'm going to prepare my background. So to start off with then, I've got my colours. So we've got scribbles, inks, lettering, flake and foil and foreign languages. Okay, so to start off with it, I'm going to put down a kind of greeny kind of background. So I'll put that to one side. So I'm going to bring in those two colours of paint, give them a real good shake up. Like that. And then I'm going to bring in something else. So this is brand new for me. I've just recently, over the last couple of weeks or so, got hold of these. These are the new sponge brayers. Well, I say new, they're new to me anyway, from Stampin' Up. So instead of the kind of rubberized brayer that you get, this is actually sponge. How soft and squishy it is. You get two in the pack with two spares. So 4 rollers and 2 handles. And I didn't think they were that expensive. I think, from memory, I think they're about £6.50. So if you've got a local Stampin' Up rep, it may be worthwhile having a chat. Okay, or if you've got a couple of friends, or a friend that you could maybe go halves with and get a handle and a spares each, then it's not going to be that expensive. Right, so I'm going to do a little bit of brayering on the background. So I'm going to do some green. So I've shook up my pen. I'm just going to put a little, I'm not putting any gesso down. I'm not putting any gesso down. So I'm going to have a look and see what kind of effect we get with the brayer. Okay, put a little bit more there. Now, I don't know whether I'm using this correctly or as it's intended, but I'm getting a kind of mottled, nice mottly background. Excuse the noise of my clip flapping. Okay, so let's bring in a little bit of darker green. I've got some scratch paper. Let me put a little bit of the green paint. Move that over that way, otherwise I'm going to get my elbow in it. Put some of the darker green on there, and then maybe just see how it brays in. Probably going to end up with spots. Okay, interesting. Never used this particular tool before, so like I said, I don't know whether I'm using it correctly or as it's intended, but suppose it's like a mini paint roller. Work the paint in. Okay. Can't say I'm all that enamoured, but never mind. Okay, let's bring some of that blue in. And just because I'm not going to clean the brayer. No, I'm being a devil. I'm going lighter as I'm coming down here. As I'm coming down towards the green, I'm going a bit lighter. I'm not pressing quite as hard. Interesting effect. Okay. Let's bring that light green back in. That was the olive green. So the olive green from Deco Art is a bit brighter than olive greens that I've seen from other companies. It gives us a different shade of green, that doesn't it? Let's just see if we can blend out that across the middle. We get a little bit of greener highlight. Okay, I'm not going to labour at it, that'll do. Right, let's quickly get that dried off and then I'll be back. Okay, so not quite as harsh as using one of the rubberised brayers. And you do kind of get that rollery kind of effect, which is fine. I'm happy with that. I'm not distressed with it, if you get my meaning. Okay, so I want to bring in some highlights and bits of pink. So I've pulled in a selection of old stencils. So this is the Harlequin stencil from TCW, as you can see, well loved, and the rest are all Timmy's. So there's Cargo, Flourish, Schoolhouse, Typo, and this one that I don't know what it's called. I'm presuming foliage, leaf, don't know. So let's just go back to the list of ingredients. So we've got lettering. So I'm going to add maybe a little bit of lettering. Maybe just in the background over here. You can tell this one is very, very clean, which means I've not used it very much. Let me just grab a blending foam and then Victorian Velvet. Actually, we're probably better off with a cleanish one, aren't we? Have I got a clean one? He says, I'm making a complete mess today. I can't find any clean foams. isn't one underneath. Let me have a look in my drawer. You just talk amongst yourself while I sort stuff out. There we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. That's probably got loads of... No, it hasn't. Right, it's got oxide on it. Yeah, probably just ruined the ink, but what the heck. Right, so let's just have a little subtle writing just in the background with that pink, which is going to react with the blue and probably go a little bit more pale, purpley. Don't have an issue with that. Not too upset with that. Bring that up here. Yep. Don't mind that. Oh, I'm not going to put anything in the middle because that's going to get covered up. But I will put maybe just a tad more. No, because that's going to get covered up there, and that bit's going to get covered up there. I think actually that's going to be it. Look at me showing restraint. Wonders will never cease. Okay, so we've got a little bit of lettering in the background, and we've also used a little bit of pink. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that flourish, and I'm going to add a little bit of pink paint just around the edge for no other reason than I can. Do you know what? I'm just going to use that. Don't know what I've done with my paint mat, but that's alright, that will do. And I've got a bit of a craft spongy, so let's just lift up, work in a little bit of that pinky colour. Okay, and then just lightly just go do a few flourishy kind of marks. Just around there. And then just a few up here as well. Maybe if I just do it that way. I am going to have an image here, so just blend that off. There we go. Just a little subtle something. Okay, so let's put that to one side, get that dried off. So that should be dry, so I can pop all those stencils to one side. Now, I thought about using that. I might still use that later on, but not all at once. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment. So we've got the green, the hints of pink coming in, and also just some of that blue showing through at the top. Okay. Not in your face, which is good. So where are we now? So we've got those three colours, and we've got some lettering in there. Okay, let's just start marking these off so I know where I am, what I need to include. So a bit of lettering, and we've got all three colours. Haha. For that bit, it's a kind of magic, you'll have to wait and see. Okay, so scribbles, you'll have to wait. Ink, we've added ink in through the stencil, haven't we? The Victorian velvet, so I've included that. I think the flake and the foil and the scribbles I'm going to combine, and I'll show you that in a minute, what I'm going to do. But also, we've got foreign language. Okay, so I think it's time to bring in my main focal point. So, while I was thinking about this kind of magic thing, the phrase that kept coming through and popping into my head was the line from The Wizard of Oz. And it was from Glinda when she first meets Dorothy. And she asks her whether or not she's a good witch or a bad witch. Tell me, are you a good witch or a bad witch? So I'm going to have Glinda on my page, just like that. So I need some glue. So she's floating in. If I can get my glue to work, there we go. So let's get some glue around the outside. Now, I don't know whether or not the camera's picking up the noise from outside, but one of my neighbours has returned home after working away in Africa for the past few months. He's been away since January and he's just got home and he's decided he's going to tune his car up on his drive. It's not a particularly nice day today, it's not sunny or anything. It has been for the last few days, but at the moment it's not. So that's Glinda. All down there. So there we are. So I know I'm going to have to fold her, but I can work with that later. That's not a problem. So just to kind of bring all that back together, I'm going to bring back that foliage stencil again, and I'm going to, now then, where did we put it? Just see if we can try and line that leaf back up. Is it there? Yeah, that looks about right, doesn't it? And then let's grab that Victorian velvet again, and then just very subtly, let's just see if we can carry on that pattern just into Glinda's bubble a little bit. There we go. How's that? That just kind of brings that pattern back in again. Okay, so that's Glinda. So of course, if we've got Glinda, we have to have Dorothy. So I'm going to put Dorothy down here because, you know, she's asking the question, isn't she? Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I love that line. Because, you know, in the world of the Wizard of Oz, is it difficult to tell whether you're a good witch or a bad witch? Appearances, you see, can't tell. But, you know. Okay, so we're going to put little Dorothy and Toto just there. Just to try and line them up. I had to dig deep in my Digi collection to find these. I've had these for years and years and years. I had to look in backups upon backup upon backup. Okay, so there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring back the stencil again and see if we can line, so we can find where we lined it up before. I'm trying to see, was it up there somewhere? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps we'll just have to cheat and just bring that down here. Where's that Victorian velvet gone? Hope you don't mind me just waffling. It's stream of consciousness today. It's like this when you get kind of like an image in your head and you're not sure whether it's going to work, but you just give it a go anyway. There we go. So just caught her sleeve there. Okay, so next bit is the foreign language. So we have the question, are you a good witch? I've gone for French. Your actual French. And I need some scissors. Oh, I've left them over the other side. Hang on. There we go. So I've just printed out the phrase in French, ably assisted by my friend Google Translate, because my French isn't wonderful. Schoolboy French, I think you can call it. Are you a good witch? And then of course, or a bad witch. So we'll just snip those off. So I'm hoping that Google Translate has done it justice and has not translated it to something completely wrong, but you never know, do you? Okay, so are we going to do right, I'm going to put some distress around the edges. Because I've plumped for brown, just because I'm brainwashed. Tim has brainwashed us into doing brown. You can distress in whatever colour you like, but I always reach for the brown because I've been brainwashed. Sometimes Tim Holtz is actually a cult leader. He's brainwashed a nation of crafters. Okay. Let's stick that down there. I'm going to just lift it up a little bit so it breaks into Dorothy's basket, because I want to leave space down at the bottom for some scribbles, which is also called for in the list of ingredients. So I've said it many times before, you don't have to use all of the ingredients if you don't want to. You don't have to use all of the colours if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. They are literally serving suggestions, but you see, because Mission Inspiration is kind of like my thing, my group, I feel that I ought to. It's almost like setting an example, if you like. So why set something if you can't do it yourself? So I like to show people that it can be done. You can kind of integrate sometimes. Right, so I think I want to add those numbers back because I don't think they're strong enough down there. I can only just see them. Only just. Now I might have to get my head in shot for this, ladies and gents, but I think about there. Okay, so let's go for a different blending foam, because that one I think has got too much oxide and it has oxidized, which is not what I want. So I have a huge pile of Distress Oxides sitting on my worktop side that I don't really use because, to be honest, I don't really like them. I don't like the effect that they kind of give. But, you know, you don't have to like every product that's on the market. It's okay to go, do you know what, that one's not for me. So I kind of stopped buying oxides. in favour of the ordinary distress inks, which I do like a lot. So I think maybe I'm going to just add a little bit more up there, just because. And then just reinforce that one down there, so the U is just on Dorothy's head there, I think. Let me just bring that across a little bit. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Me like that. Mucho better. Okay, so let's just come back to, I've managed to get distress ink on Dorothy's head. Now she's growing a third eye. Okay, so foreign language. Yes, so we've got scribbles and we've got flake or foil. Okay, I need to have a little bit of a tidy up for this one. And I need to plug something in. So, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with my magic wand. So this, if you don't know what this is a We Are Memory Keepers. It's a foil quill. So that end there is attached to that wire and it's plugged in via USB. So it just plugs into one of those USB plugs. And this little brass, I'm going to be very rude and call it a nipple, or stylus if you like, gets very, very hot. And I've got a roll of foil. Look, foil, foil, foil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, using a pair of scissors, I'm just going to cut, if I can. There we go. I'm trying to do this and try and keep everything in shot at the same time. I bought myself this quill with some Christmas money that I got, mainly because I couldn't think of anything else to spend the money on. Awful when you're in one of those situations where you've pretty much got everything you want. Okay, so I'm going to lay the foil down at the edge of the paper and then just using it like a pen, I'm going to scribble onto the foil I'm going to try and create a kind of scribbly border. Can you see? So for me, this definitely is a wee challenge. So these are available in 3 kind of nib sizes, and I think this one is the middle size, I think. Certainly not the biggest and certainly not the smallest. There is like a pink one, like a pink handle, and I think that's the ultra fine. I should have plugged up this side, that side, so I'm keep working in with the foil, and the pen keeps getting in the way. Perhaps that would work better. Duh. Certainly no expert when it comes to using foil or the stylus. Because I just haven't really used it very much. I think since I bought it at Christmas, or just after Christmas, I think I tested it once or twice on a totally different kind of project. I think I used it with a stencil. I'm not even sure I even filmed that because it was experimental. And then I kind of put it away again, thinking, yeah, I'll use that one day on an art journal project. And there we go. So it's now April, and I'm only just doing it. But you know what? Some things are worth waiting for. I kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see whether or not I can work out where the edge of my word block is. And see if I can edge it in gold. If I go over a little bit, that's alright. Oh, I missed the end. Oh dear. Oh well, that's me for the high jump. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not very good with this. Whoops. Watch Mike struggle. That's it, mark it with your nail first. Don't often get a chance to use like gold foil on an art journal page, so it's kind of fun. It's a different thing to do, isn't it? Different element to include. Oh, look. Oh well, you see, I'm now going to go completely mad with it. So it says scribbles. So let's do some little scribbly stars as well. For no other reason than just the sheer joy of adding foil to a page like magic. Very good. I did say I was going to go mad with it. So is this going to be one of those cases where we don't stop? Where sometimes more is more? I mean, when all's said and done, the page is about using is magic, isn't it? It's a kind of magic. And being able to add foil like this is actually quite magical. I mean, look at that. Apart from Dorothy having a third eye, it's kind of sweet. And I think I'm going to add, just because I'm going to go mad with it, some foil doodle dots too. Scribbly little doodle dots. That foil's not taken there, is it? Or am I cooling down? No. Ow, it's hot. Perhaps I'm going too fast. Or not going straight hard enough down. Yeah, perhaps I'm not leaving it on long enough. It's either that or the foil's not exactly wonderful. Little doodle dots. Just every so often. Here we go. Yeah, you definitely could go mad with this. He says, going back for another set. One more there, I think, and then I'm going to stop. I promise I'm going to stop. Maybe just there. And maybe just there. I can hear you screaming at me. Stop now! Put it down! Step away from the foil quill. There we go. That'll do. Right, that's it. It's unplugged. Done! So of course, that now, as you can see, the foil's come off there, so you can't really use that apart from with any more kind of like doodly dots. So that will do. So let's see then. Flake or foil? Definitely. Scribbles. Well, can't get any more scribbly than that, can you? Apart from if I obviously try and write my name in it, which I'm not going to. So I'm going to add my little signature. Just do it up the side here. So I'm doing this on the Friday before the Saturday. So today is the 2nd of April 21. There you go. So, it's a kind of magic, isn't it just? So, electric blue, fairy rose, mystical green, scribbles, inks, lettering, flake or foil, and foreign language. So, thank you, Alien, for the prompts for April. I had loads and loads and loads of fun with that foiling. So, hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. He says, reaching for the foil gun. No. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to join in with our Mission Inspiration Facebook group, that's the URL, and there is a clickable link in the description area below. I forgot to say. That's all from me. See you soon. Bye. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.